It's Jalen Rose.
What up, dog?
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
Together, we're Jalen and Jacoby, and it is Friday, and we're on ESPN2 and ESPN Radio. What do we do?
We're really fortunate that we give the people that have supported this program 6 years exactly what they want. Not only on the radio, but on podcasts, but in particular on television, where they can see our handsome faces.
And they also get to see the face, not as handsome, of a gentleman by the name of Costa Kufis.
Oh, that's a face only a mother will love.
Well, you said it, not me. And I want you to look at his face in this clip and tell me what he is thinking. What's going on, Jalen? You haven't seen this yet. What's happening? Who's he talking to?
Close game.
But he's in a conversation with himself.
I know who he's talking to.
But it looks like...
I've had that conversation.
You had that conversation?
Yeah. I know who he's talking to.
Coach?
He's talking to the coach and he's talking to the ref.
Okay. What's he saying?
He's talking to both of them at the same time. Like, I don't believe you called that on me, but maybe it was a foul. I don't believe you took me out. You always taking me out. It's because of you. I'm not averaging a double-double.
You have had that conversation before. Well, there's a lot of conversations going on in the visitors' locker room in Denver. Because the Oklahoma City Thunder went into Denver on a 3-game losing streak. Everyone was asking, what's wrong with the Thunder? What's going on with the Thunder? Well, guess what? They left Denver with a 4-game losing streak. They only scored 19 points in the fourth quarter. They only had 6 assists in the second half. Paul George attempted 1 shot in the fourth quarter. After the loss, you'll never believe this, Jalen, they had a team meeting. What is going on with the Thunder?
This wasn't the usual team meeting where you just bash ownership and the coach and blame them on the team's lack of productivity.
No.
It's one of those things, and we talked about this on Countdown. There has to be a pecking order. It can't be each person taking turns.
It's a really
when I look
good
at
point.
the stat sheet,
let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the Thunder performance from the Big Three. If you look at this...
You guys knew what I was thinking?
Exactly. You don't go to the meetings, but we know where you go. You know, that's what happens
crazy.
when your staff is very good. If you look at this, they all average the same amount of points, they all take the same amount of shots, and they all make the same... It's the exact same. When you talk pecking order, why does this not work, in your expert opinion?
I'm really impressed that you guys have some telepathic thinking and understand what I'm going to hit on. That's crazy. With that being said, when I talk about a pecking order, for anybody that's played elite level basketball, it's a privilege to be able to shoot. It's a privilege for the team to run a play for you. It's an honor because it's the other 14 guys saying, we trust you enough because if you wasn't shooting, I'll be shooting.
Yes, and all other 14 guys feel very confident in their abilities.
Even the guys that can't shoot.
Yes, of course.
Want the ball.
Of course.
Because you massage it, the crowd's watching, the television's watching, your family's watching, and you could be Dennis Rodman that's going to get every rebound, or Dikembe Mutombo's going to block every shot. Man, they feel so much better when they have the ball. And so in this dynamic, when you have 3 players who are perennial all-stars, one's is the reigning MVP. Carmelo's one of the all-time leading scorers, just past Allen Iverson on the scoring list. And Paul George, who's led the Pacers in his own right, been a 20-plus point scorer, Team USA player. What ends up happening is it's a unique spot for Russell because he plays the 1 and he's trying to keep them happy. He don't want them to bounce. In particular, Paul George, who can leave after this year. So he wants to show them, you guys came to play with me, we all getting our bread, but I don't want to run these guys
Melo
off.
can leave too. Yeah.
Melo ain't going nowhere. He get $28 million next year. He'll be here.
Opted. Okay.
That's why he like, I'm pulling. I'm wearing a hoodie. I'm doing everything. Like, I'm here. And that's what he's established. What needs to truly happen, Paul George won't be able to get his rocks off like this because Melo's playing the 4, which means he's going to be able to shoot the ball, win, lose, or draw against the guys that are guarding him in the West on a nightly basis, from distance at least. Russell's going to be a volume player. All 3 of them were in the top 10 in isolation points last year. So they all want the ball. But I think if Russell wants to take a step back and be more of a playmaker, Melo has to take more of a step back at being a power forward in the West and being a volume scorer. And they got to kind of get Paul George, the intermediate player, going.
Okay. That's interesting because you would look at these three and say either Carmelo or Westbrook is going to be the one that's going to take most of your shots. And what you're saying is those two can score. They need to make an effort to get Paul George involved and give him the lion's share of the shots.
Because at the end of the game, you just said Paul George had how many shots in the fourth quarter?
He had one field goal attempt.
Okay. When there's a last shot and everything's equal, who's going to shoot it?
The best player on the team.
Russell. And then if he's not shooting it, I seen him dribble, penetrate, kick it to Melo early in the year. He hit a 3 before Minnesota won. They need their slasher, their wing, their guy that is going to guard the best player on the opposing team on the perimeter when Roberson's not in the game to actually get going.
Do you remember Jimmy Fredette?
I do.
He's playing in China right now.
He got drafted ahead of Isaiah Thomas.
And Stephon Marbury also in China.
Former teammate.
And here's one thing we learned. That whether you're playing in America, China, or anywhere, all professional basketball fights are the same. Let's take a look at these two going toe-to-toe. There we have, Jimmer going after Steph. We lose him, and then, what is this, Jalen? What do you call this?
Hold me back.
Well, I've translated into Chinese for our listeners.
You've been working hard today.
Play it again. There it is. Do you want to see it?
That is very nice. I like what you did.
Can you say it?
So this is not me mocking what you did in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, I'm sure it's mockable. I've heard it and say.
But
right.
when you said zzz, I thought about a record because I have so many songs in my head. It was zzz, 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 zzz.
We just got sued. Jalen, you've been gone. We had a couple guests in here.
That's
It was fun. And it was a big shout to Al Harrington and Amino Hassan, everybody that came through. Stack came through. But you did this while you were gone.
It's not a big deal, right?
Not a big deal.
Are we about to? We're going to detour this whole show.
I'm happy he had a nail clipper. Like me, I just, especially my big toe, I like to just pull it. And sometimes it bleeds, but
Okay.
use a Band-Aid.
Let's talk about routines. That was disgusting.
Jalen, we always talk about what's on wax and what's off wax. And this isn't Jalen Jacoby. You know what I mean? When you're on at 1 in the morning, you're comfortable, you're with your friend, you kind of say whatever, executives don't notice. You can't do that on Countdown, man. Talk about your big toe blood. No one wants to hear about your big toe blood.
I guess it is a different look when you suited and booted.
You're next to broadcasting legend Michelle Beadle.
No question. And Paul and Chauncey looking at me like I'm crazy.
Exactly. Not only Paul and Chauncey looking at you like you're crazy. Watch this, Jalen.
Costa Kufis has had a very strong game. He has been good. Tell you what, he's probably going to have a stiff neck tomorrow.
That's exactly what Costa Kufis was talking to himself about. He didn't care about the close game or getting taken out. He was like, that's disgusting.
That's why Willie Cauley-Stein getting your minutes.
Coming up next on Jalen and Jacoby, is the NFL concussion test a sham? It sure looked like it on Thursday Night Football. So
And also, no, I got. President of the.
keep going. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Happy Friday. Jalen Rose, I have a story to tell you. Just give me a second.
Listen up, I got a story to tell.
I was at an establishment watching various games, a lot of NBA games, and the Thursday Night Football games. So I wanted to watch all of them.
Don't get divorced or fired.
So I wanted to watch all of them, so I couldn't watch it at my house. I had to go to a bar. And I was at the bar during the Thursday Night Football national anthem was televised. And there was two gentlemen, true story, two gentlemen sitting to my right, arguing about kneeling during the anthem, about disrespecting the flag, not getting crazy, but having an argument between strangers about that. And it just made me think about how divided we are about this and how this has been a dividing force in our society. And I turned away from that argument. I looked up at the screen. Jalen, this is what I saw when I looked up at the screen. See, here we have interlocked, we have the flag stretched out there, and there's the eagle, the bald eagle, America's mascot, flying over the flag in the middle of the field. Do you see what that is, Jalen?
You let one go.
It pooped on the flag. The bald eagle pooped on the flag during the national anthem. And listen, I know a lot of people disagree about a lot of this stuff. But whether you support the kneeling during the anthem, or whether you don't support kneeling during the anthem, what's one thing that we can all agree on?
That you shouldn't poop on the flag.
Don't poop on the flag, bald eagle. I'm interested to see what the repercussions will be from this action from this bald eagle.
Suspended for 5 years.
Something. That bald eagle should not appear on national television during football games again.
Jerry Jones gonna hire another attorney.
Don't poop on the flag, bald eagle. Let's move on before we get fired. Also during the Thursday night game, after the eagle pooped on the flag, there was this hit on Russell Wilson. And you've seen it, clean, no one blocking, tough hit, clean, little helmet, but nothing crazy. His jaw hurts. And the ref comes over and says, you got to go. Nope. Russell, you cannot stay in the game. You have to go. We have a concussion protocol in this league, a very serious concussion protocol. You need to be evaluated. This is him being evaluated in the tent. Oh, I'm good. Oh, got to go. Now, Jalen, when you watch this, which I know you did, you have to ask yourself, with the NFL saying how serious they take player safety and how important the concussion protocol is and how they're taking these steps to protect their players, what about that made you feel like he was being protected if he had a potential concussion?
I want to defend the officials here because they have a heavy burden to carry on each play.
I don't think the officials did anything wrong.
They are to get each call right, or we're going to put the camera on them. And if they don't initially get it right, go to replay and try to get it right. And also manage the fact to whether a gentleman is actually injured, hurt, or has a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doctors.
No.
So I appreciate the fact that the official, this is out of my hands. I saw you take a hit. It was in the chin. Usually when you're hitting your head, that is what causes
concussions. And the thing is, the official absolutely did the right thing. If he has any doubt in his mind that Russell Wilson is anything but 100%, you go over there. My problem is this. It's not Russell Wilson's fault. There needs to be someone that accepts Russell Wilson, that is a neutral party, that is like league appointed. There is this. That person needs to enforce the concussion protocol. I watched this and I did not see Russell Wilson go through a series of tests. I didn't see any vigorous testing or any sort of what's your name, where are you, what's going on. They didn't have a lot of that there. And Russell Wilson, of course, does what he wants to do, which is get on the field and play football.
Can I just say this for the record? Russell Wilson, elite quarterback. I know we throw that term around a lot. Elite quarterback. He's not Joe Flacco that won a Super Bowl. Elite? He's not Joe Flacco that won a Super Bowl and doesn't consistently perform each week. But to your point, there has to be a level of restraint by a third party toward Russell Wilson, but there also has to be a level of acceptance by the athlete. You hear so many guys, and I am not proud to say I've been this person before, that you don't care about your health. You care about the opportunity to play the sport that you love that's giving you so much.
Of course.
That's all that is.
It's football. You want to get back on the field and play.
And so while it's almost like it's your friend that you really can't take anywhere because he or she don't know how to act, and before you know it, they have a couple of beverages and they argue and fighting with somebody, you're like, either I can't take you nowhere, or I know how they going to be when we get there. It's almost like Rasheed Wallace. You know he going to get a technical.
Yes.
So every time, are you going to be the guy that goes over and gets between him and the hold me back in the ref? Like, at some point, you get emotionally taxed. And so the team has to have what you acknowledge in play, a third-party individual to acknowledge it, but also the player has to be accepting.
That's fair.
Because at some point, fans and media, we want to protect the health of the players.
This is for the players' benefit.
You have to be accepting of that help. If you're in boxing and you're getting beat down and your corner throws in the towel, you don't pick up the towel and throw it back out of the ring and keep fighting.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Very quickly, Richard Sherman ruptured his Achilles tendon. It's just terrible news, and we've done it before. The long list of superstars, not just NFL players, superstars that have been injured this season. And after the game, not necessarily pegging it to the Sherman injury, but Doug Baldwin said this about Thursday night games. This should be illegal, not okay. It's not okay. You can quote me on that. Now, Jalen, what do we always say on this show? Follow the money. The NFL is receiving $1.86 billion from NBC, CBS, Twitter, and Amazon over the next 2 years to stream these games, about $900 million a year. Do you think that they will one day say, we are going to give that money back after this 2-year deal and get away with Thursday nights because the players don't want them? It's bad for the players.
I appreciate the platform to be able to talk about sports consistently, because this is something that we've talked about consistently on this program. I remember a day when I was like, man, Sunday to Sunday, oof, those players take a beat, and I don't know how they get ready to play in that short period of time. And then it was Monday to Sunday. Ooh, that's a short week. Man, I don't know how they're getting ready to play. But Sunday to Wednesday, I'm with Doug Baldwin because I've said this before. That should be illegal. Big shout out to Richard Sherman, a friend of the show. And I said to him, and he agreed. These are the type of things the players need to stand on the table and decide, you know what? Maybe we're not going to show up for work one week. Then we're going to talk about these guaranteed contracts. We're going to talk about these games on Thursday. That's how you allow your voices to be heard.
The Dallas Cowboys have a game on Sunday. And then they have the Thursday Thanksgiving game. And then another Thursday night game. That is 3 games in 11 or 12 days. That just shouldn't be happening.
You could look at it in the flip side and say, wow, the court, you can't control the dates they give, but man, maybe the NFL was trying to get Ezekiel 3 games out of the way real quick in 10 days. You don't have to talk about it that much.
Coming up next on Jalen Jacoby is my favorite segment of the week. Why, Mr. Rose?
Because you're a slacker, you have a lovely wife and a house full of kids, and you're trying to not be home this weekend.
That's right. Jalen Rose, you're on NBA Countdown. You're on Jalen Jacoby every single day. You're a media personality. But you are also a thespian.
I need to look that up.
It's not what you think it is. It means actor. Jalen Jacoby, it is Friday, and this is my favorite segment of the week. It is the final segment. It's called What We Learned. It's when we look back the entire week. Just learn what we learned. One thing we learned, Jameson eats W's. You like lobster. I like crab legs. Oh, look, Jameson, he likes crab legs too. He likes crab legs because they're shaped like W's, if you put 2 of them next to each other.
J-Mo, come on, young fella. Can't be licking your fingers and then asking dudes for dap. That's just disgusting. And I remember an era, by the way, where people didn't walk around with hand sanitizer, didn't pick up after their dogs when they used the bathroom outdoors. But we're not going there.
Another thing we learned is Jalen Rose solved an internet mystery. There's this clip of something that looks like a wedding ring falling out of Ty Lue's mouth. And the whole internet thought it was a wedding ring. We thought it was some sort of ring, like he was Birdie, like he's carrying things in his mouth, like he's got change in there,
like what you did.
or keys or whatever.
Razor.
And guess what? You saw this clip and said what?
It's a lifesaver. It's a mint.
It's a lifesaver.
And the crazy thing is I had that mint with me that day. Thank you.
I brought you one. That's actually the exact
no question about
lifesaver.
it. And it's white. I don't know why people thought it was a ring.
Moving on.
I discovered E equals MC squared.
That's what you learned?
I came up with that theory, that formula.
You really did. Next, we learned Cam Newton doesn't know what happened to the Titanic. Let's listen to Cam after a game.
This is what we got to do. These are our expectations. Nobody's even, giving us an opportunity. Yeah, we just lost a great player, but nevertheless, the Titanic still has to go.
I figured this one out. So you solved the mystery last time. I figured out this one. People think that he didn't understand the Titanic. He doesn't know what happened to the Titanic. What he was thinking of was the Celine Dion song from the movie. You've seen Titanic, the movie, right? Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet.
No.
You've heard the song. I can't sing it because they'll charge me.
Pretty sure I heard the song, but I haven't seen it.
It talks about go on. Just like that. Celine sounds much better than I do. That's what he was doing. Another thing we learned, Louis Vuitton sunglasses, very costly. They're very costly. LiAngelo Ball, Cody Riley, Jalen Hill, they tried to steal some sunglasses in China. Didn't work out.
I know one of those guys gonna get chastised when he get home.
Jalen.
He's second.
No, not Jalen.
People talk a lot about LeVar. That's a big dude. I would not want him to be upset at me, especially when he over there with the wife also, and you out here misrepresenting. Oh, man.
Another thing we learned, Drake planted. So Drake has a collection of Birkin bags that he's been collecting for his future wife. What do you think about that?
Should never gave you money.
You know what? I don't think it's true.
He just got so much
I think he just
bread.
said that into a microphone just so women think that exists. He got too much money.
It's almost representing that era where, I lay down my jacket so you can walk over a puddle. Told you he's the modern day LL.
Another thing we learned is LeBron likes Arthur. Are you for Arthur the cartoon?
I'm not.
I'm not either.
Did you guys talk about LeBron sliding in DMs when I was gone?
No, we didn't talk about that, but I know about that. We kept that one, you never know with those. There's photoshopping involved. You never really know. And also the female's last name I didn't want to say on the microphone.
Got it.
Finally, a lesson that we learned. Eric Bledsoe's not a liar. Let's listen to Eric. You remember?
Man, it's been a long couple of weeks. I just want to, start by saying I've never been a liar.
So he's referencing when he said he tweeted, "I do not want to be here." Suns GM Ryan McDonough claimed that Bledsoe explained that he said he didn't want to be in the hair salon. Ryan McDonough did not believe that. So Bledsoe is on wax saying he is not a liar. Do you believe when he tweeted that he was tweeting about the Phoenix Suns or a hair salon?
His smile was so big. He was so enthusiastic that he got traded. It definitely was about the Suns.
It was about the Suns. He was at a hair salon tweeting about the Suns, so he's technically not a liar. We'll be back on Monday. He's Jalen. I'm Jacoby. We're Jalen and Jacoby. Make sure you subscribe
your finger
to our podcast.
Disgusting.